Hi guys, welcome to Flowing with Sid. Our practice today was special requested 20 minutes of mat Pilates work. All you'll need for class today is something to practice on, so a mat or something comfortable like a rug or a towel. If you want to add any extra weight or spice to this class, a nice thing to add in might be wrist or ankle weights. But again, that's just extra if you're looking for something to add on. So unroll your mat and let's get ready to flow. Our Pilates practice is all about focusing on our core strength and our core control. As we move through this class, anytime that I'm asking you to move a body part, your arms, your legs, I want you to feel like you're generating that strength through your strong core. So when you're moving your arms, it's through your shoulder. When you're moving your legs, it's through your glute. Always coming back to that core strength and control. Starting in a seated pose, we line up our toes with the front edge of our mat and we'll reach our arms forward. We want to start here with a nice tall spine, so reaching up, crown of the head towards the sky. You'll already start to feel that strong core holding you upright. And then on our next exhale, we're going to start to C curve. So lowering yourself down as you exhale, pulling that belly button towards spine, lowering the very end portion of your spine down to the mat. We're going to pause halfway. Good. Use your inhale, draw yourself back up. Perfect. We're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale, curve it in. Inhale to lift. Trying to keep those feet flat 1 more time. Exhale, curve it in. Good. And then from here, we're going to lower all the way down. So keep that core control on your way down to the earth. We'll draw our feet in so that our feet are flat and we melt our lower back towards the earth. We're gonna find some of that alignment, some of that sensation here. So starting with that nice flat back, we're gonna move into our pelvis tilt. So just finding some mobility and kind of checking in with this space. So arms rest at your sides. On your inhale, rock your hip points towards the sky. Keep your shoulders and upper back grounded. We're just lifting that very end portion. Good, and then on your exhale, we round through, tucking the tail, flatten your low back towards the earth. We'll do that a couple of times. On your inhale, rock your hip points towards the sky, create that space between your lower back and the mat. And then exhale, rounding it in, really activating the core, squeezing the glutes. 1 more time, inhale, rock the hip points. Exhale, round it under. Beautiful, and we'll find our neutral spine. So with our neutral spine, neutral pelvis, the low back stays flat to the mat. Imagining you had a marble in your belly button. It's not gonna rock side to side or up or down. It's gonna stay right there. Keeping that core engaged will keep our lower back connected to the earth beneath us. From here, we're gonna come into our reverse tabletop. So keeping everything as it is, just lifting the legs. So we stack the knees over the hips and then flex the feet. So we're pointing our heels towards that wall ahead of us. Arms rest at your sides, keep the low back flat. And then on your next exhale, we lower that right heel down to tap the earth. Good, trying to keep the bend in the knee. Inhale back to neutral. And take that onto your second side. Exhale, we lower to tap. Inhale to neutral. We're gonna start our timer here. All of our movements today are gonna be for 1 minute. Tap the right heel down, slowly lift. As you switch sides, checking in with the core, checking in with the low back, making sure you have that connection to the earth. And we're moving nice and slow here. So we're feeling each bit of those stabilizing muscles holding us together. Good, feet are flexing, keep the bend in the knees. We alternate, tap that heel down. Inhale to lift. Good, head and shoulders stay grounded to the earth here. Your arms are resting at your sides. You might like to press your shoulders down into the mat just to give you that activation. Good, starting nice and slow here. We really want to feel all of those foundational moves. We've got 10 more seconds. Beautiful, here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna come back to that tabletop movement. And then from here, we're gonna add our arms. So reaching our arms to the sky, imagining you were in a tabletop shape. So our hands stack over our shoulders, knees stack over our hips. Keep the low back flat. We're gonna find an alternating movement. So right arm reaches, left heel extends. Hover the arm, hover the leg. Inhale through center. And then second side, exhale. Inhale through center. Good. As we add on these extra pieces, we want to keep everything that we've built already. So the low back stays flat. Good. Keeping that nice stack. And starting to activate that breath. Good. Feeling that energy as you extend. And remembering you really set your pace here. So you can extend as far or as little as you like. Beautiful. Alternating here for 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Coming back through the center here. We're going to keep our legs tabletop, but we're going to bend the elbows, bring them to the sides of the head. So coming back to that strong core, low back is flat to the mat. As we inhale, we curl up the head and shoulders. We're coming into a crunch here, but we want to be mindful of the neck. Keep some space between your chin and chest. Exhale, roll it back down. Good. Inhale, rolling it up, feeling like you're lifting one vertebra at a time. And exhale, rolling it back down, already feeling those wobbles, activating that strong core. Perfect, guys, keep that going. I always like to do these kinds of classes by time because you're really setting your own pace. You don't have to try to fit in 20 movements or 30 movements. You can really feel each one that you're doing and knowing that you have the perfect amount of time. Here for 3, 2, and 1. On our next inhale, we curl up our head and shoulders and we hold. So we're starting to activate the upper body, keeping the head and shoulders lifted. Unless you want to give the neck a break, then you can tap it back down. We extend our legs towards the sky, starting with those toes pointing. So legs are long, toes point. Cross your right ankle over your left. Remember, head and shoulders can lower down at any time. We're gonna do a cross leg lift. So that bottom leg lowers, top leg stacks, and then top leg lifts, bottom leg stacks, we switch. Good, keep that going. Bottom leg lowers, top leg stacks, top leg lifts, bottom leg lifts, switch. Good, we're moving side to side here, trying to keep those legs long. Good, toes pointing towards the sky. We lower, lower, lift, lift. So on those leg lifts, if you notice when you lower down, that low back floats away from the earth, maybe that's your cue that you're lowering too far. So thinking about a 45-degree angle for the legs, or maybe higher for more support. Good, keeping this going for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna lift those legs back towards the sky, uncrossing them, hug the knees into the chest, relax the head and shoulders, give yourself a rock side to side, 3 breaths. Good, guys. And then from here, knees are gonna come back through the center. We want to hug into the chest. So make yourself into a tight little shape. So rounding through the spine, forehead draws towards the knees. We're gonna keep our head and shoulders lifted again. On your inhale, arms extend, legs reach. And then exhale, snow angel the arms in, hug it in. Activate those biceps, squeezing the legs. Inhale to reach, exhale to squeeze. Keeping that going. The challenge here is keeping those head and shoulders lifted as we reach the arms back. Good, nice little squeeze here. You're halfway through this movement. Doing so good, guys. Those legs extend, toes are pointing, squeeze it in. Good, inhale to reach. Exhale, scoop it in. Good, little squeeze here. Inhale to reach. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Keep your head and shoulders lifting. We'll bring the opposite hand to the knee, same hand to the ankle. Extend the leg and switch. Opposite hand to knee, same hand to ankle, alternating leg stretch. So those head and shoulders are lifting, just like we talked about at the beginning. We're keeping that length for our neck. So imagining you have enough space between your chin and chest to hold a delicate egg. And we're giving our biceps a little activation, squeezing that thigh in. Pointing the opposite toes. Good, alternating here for 30 more seconds. If you wanted to give the neck and shoulders a break, head can lower down to the mat, or you could also use a prop like a block or a towel for support. Keeping this going, guys, you're doing great. Last 15. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your right knee in. Relax the head and shoulders. Left leg lowers all the way down to the mat. We bring the hands to the back of that right leg, extending it long towards the sky. Hamstring stretch. So maybe you point and flex the foot, circle out the ankle. Relax the head and shoulders. Come back to that full deep breath if it got away from you. Good, one more breath here. And then we're gonna keep that opposite leg long. Your first option is to keep that length through the leg. Your second option for a little bit of support is to bend the knee. Up to you what option you choose. We're gonna bring the hands to the sides of the mat. Right leg is long, toes pointing towards the sky. We're gonna do some leg circles. Remember, shoulders are planted, low back connects to the earth, hips stay as they are. Right leg sweeps towards the right. Create a big circle. Good, coming back through center and right. Good, center and right. You'll notice the bigger your circle is, the more you'll have to work stabilizing through your midsection. So thinking about the only thing that's moving here is that right leg. So our shoulders are steady, our hips are grounded, that left leg is long. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, come back to the center for 1, and then right leg moves to the left. So reverse that circle. Good, guys. It's funny, sometimes you see these movements and you're like, oh, leg circles, I can do that. But when we have that full activation, shoulders grounded, nice strong core, opposite leg long, you really feel the work. Here for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back through the center. We switch our legs. Left leg is long, towards the sky, right leg reaches. Hands to the backs of the legs, little hamstring stretch. Maybe you point and flex the foot, circle the ankle. Perfect, guys. And then from here, we're setting up for those leg circles. Once again, your arms rest at your sides. Left leg is long towards the sky. Right leg extends or knee bends for support. We take that left leg towards the left and center. Good, trying to keep everything steady, shoulders and hips grounded. Left to left and center. If you feel a lot of movement in the body, see if you can make that circle smaller. Try to paint that same circle over and over again. Here for 3, 2, 1 through center, and then we take that left leg over towards the right. Good, opposite direction. Less than 30 seconds. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, guys. Both knees bend, feet come flat to the mat. Let's take a moment, heel toe those feet towards the edges, windshield wiper those knees side to side. Remembering now you can pause here or at any time to sip your water. One more breath. Good, and then from here, we're gonna come into our bridge pose. So arms rest at your sides, draw your heels in as close as you can to your seat. Keep your gaze overhead to protect your neck. As you exhale, we'll press through the soles of the feet, lift the hips, arms will reach overhead and back. Good, from here, we float down one vertebra at a time, arms follow. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep that going. Staying active through the inner thighs. Imagine you're squeezing that invisible block or that Pilates ball between the knees. Good, pressing into those shoulders and upper body, helping you lift. Good, guys, keeping this going for 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna hold the top of our bridge pose and we're gonna reach our arms towards the sky. So I like to have my palms facing together, maybe drawing your heels in a little bit more. From here, we're gonna lift our right knee from the earth, a marching bridge. Good, right foot lowers down to the mat, and then we lift left leg. As we go side to side here, we're staying steady. Those shoulders are staying grounded, gaze is overhead. Remember, you can always lower your arms down to your sides. That might help with stability if you feel really wobbly today. That's okay. Good, we lift one leg and lower. You're halfway through. Second leg and lower. As we lift that leg, we're pressing through that grounding foot to keep the hips lifted. Ten more seconds. You're almost there. Can you press a little bit more through the soles of the feet, lifting those hips? Good. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your feet down, lower your arms down. We melt down one vertebra at a time. And then from here, soles of the feet connect, knees open towards the edges of the mat. We take a butterfly pose. 3 breaths here. One more breath. Good, guys. From here, bring your arms towards the sides of your mat. We're still holding this butterfly shape, but we're gonna come into our frog pulse. So we're gonna press into the knife edge of the feet, and then on an inhale, we lift the hips towards the sky. Good, lower to tap them down, and press to lift. Just a little movement here. Tap down, press to lift, keeping that going. Again, our gaze is overhead to protect our neck. You can press in your shoulders to find that little bit of extra lift. Palms can press into the mat as well. If you wanted to add anything extra here, if you're using weights for your practice, this might be a nice place you could add weights to the hips, or of course, this whole practice can be done with just body weight. We're here for 15 more seconds. Good, here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We lower our hips back down to the earth, and then we're gonna take a turn onto our right sideline. So we're gonna stack our shoulders and hips. We're gonna bring our right forearm down to the earth. Stacking our knees, our ankles, and hips. We keep our right sideline long as we prepare for our clamshell movement. So imagining the feet are the spine of a book, they stay connected. We inhale, lift the top leg, and exhale to tap. This is another place where if you wanted to add weight, you could add it to that top thigh, but also really just working with the body weight is an awesome way to kind of develop your Pilates practice. As we continue that clamshell movement, we want to make sure we're not collapsing into that right shoulder. That left hand is in front of you lightly. You could even place it on a block to give you more space. Good little wobble. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, closing those legs. Extend your heels forward so you have a long line for your legs. Upper body stays as it is. We're gonna flex our feet, take your inhale, lift that heel higher than the hip, and then lower to a hover. Good, keep the feet flexed, lift and lower, lift and lower. So often in our Pilates and yoga practice, these movements seem really simple, really easy. So sometimes it's up to you to create that resistance. Have that leg feel long and strong. Have your movement feel slow. Maybe feeling like you're moving through something sticky like honey to really create that external resistance. 15 more seconds. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna lift that leg to that highest point, point the toes and pulse it up for 30 seconds. Good, that bottom foot is flexed. Keep your shoulders and hips stacking. We pulse up and up. You're here already for 15. Good, that top leg is wobbling. Remembering we're keeping that right side line long, keeping that right arm firm. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Lower those legs back down. Bend the knees, we press into the earth. We're gonna take a little mermaid stretch, so reaching for those shins. Inhale that top arm up and over. Good, guys, float that hand down. We're gonna switch sides. So we're going to our left hip now. Starting with that clamshell movement. So we stack our hips and knees. That left forearm is now down to the mat. Soles of the feet connect. And then we lift the top leg and close. Good, that right hand this time is in front of you. Left side line, it's long. Good, noticing any difference between your right and left side. We tend to favor one side of the body, so maybe for you that manifests in one side feeling stronger than the other. Maybe one side feels more balanced than the other. We use all of these movement practices just to create that understanding of our bodies. 20 more seconds here. Good, last 10. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll extend our legs long now, keeping that stack, shoulders, hips, and heels. We flex our feet, so pointing those heels towards that back wall. Inhale, we lift higher than the hip. Exhale, we lower to a hover. Good, again, if you're modifying this, you can lower that heel all the way to tap, maybe taking an extra breath in between each movement. That's completely fine. Trying to keep that flex in the feet, lift higher than the hip, lower to the hover. Good, that top hand is in front of you. I like to think of keeping that top hand nice and light because we really want to use that side body to hold us upright. Last 15 seconds, we take that pulse, and that's going to wrap our practice today. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We lift higher than the hip. We point the toes and we pulse for 30 seconds. Keep that bottom foot flexed. I know it's hard here, but try to keep that top hip stacking. Same thing with the shoulders. We want them in a line. We've got 15 more seconds. Good, micro movement for that pulse. So it's not that full extension. We're just going up and down. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your legs to stack, bend the knees. We press up, we take that mermaid one more time. Reach for the shins, up and over. Good, coming back through the center. Thank you so much, guys. You did so amazing. You worked so hard building all of that core strength, building your Pilates practice at home. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want any more practices, maybe a cool down stretch, please click on another one of my videos. And of course, if there's anything you'd like to see in your practice, please leave me a comment. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing day.